Hi, and you're welcome to another insightful and informative episode of AAU Talks. My name is Agyemang Okyere Darko, and you will bear with me that at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, we had several African higher education institutions find it difficult to pivot from the traditional mode of learning to a whole new online teaching and learning as well as administration. And this was stemmed with challenges such as the limited infrastructural support for internet and for digitization, and also the staff training, the human resources to even man these new systems, and accessibility of students to join in this online learning. Today I have with me one of our prolific and also a great activist in online learning, a rep from the International Open University, here with me to discuss digitization and digitalization in African higher education institutions, particularly on the success factors and challenges so far. So don't go anywhere. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, I'll let you know who he is. And as usual, zoom right to discussions. Stay with us. You're welcome back to AAU Talks, and I'm Agyemang Okyere Darko. Before we went for the break, I told you about what we're looking at and who will be with us today. We're looking at digitization and digitalization in African higher education institutions, particularly look at the challenges and also the success stories, because we can count on when the pandemic invaded us and how unprepared we were. However, we could see some great impacts that were made, some great steps that were taken by some institutions in Africa towards an entirely new digital platform to enhance things and learning. However, we had others who were struggling with some infrastructural and administrative matters with regards to online learning. And today with me is Mr. Yusif Samudeen. He is the Ghana's rep for the International Open University. Yusif, you're welcome to AAU Talks.
Thank you for having me.
Great.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Great. So our viewers are looking forward to understand the whole phenomenon of digitization and also digitalization, and how this becomes the order of the day in the fourth industrial revolution and also in the first century. Why then must we clinch that hard to digitization and also the whole digitalization agenda? So just take us through it. Digitization, digitalization, and why must we show this transformative agenda?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I think the terms look so big time, so let's try at least
to break it
lower
down.
them a little bit down.
Sure.
I mean, we have digitizing and then digitalization.
Sure.
Okay. When we talk about digitizing, it's like more or less converting from hard paper to soft paper.
Okay.
For example, I have a book in a school, for example. We have one good book for investment or accounting, but we have 200 students, okay? And it's very difficult to reach the book. So if we want to make that book available to all people, then we need to digitize it. So we need to convert it from the paper into the digital format where everybody can have access to it. So then you come to deal with scanning, trying to put the information together and make it more accessible to everybody. So we look at it at the digitizing aspect of it. But when you look at digitalization, it is the application of the digital technology to a business model to solve problems. I mean, application of the digital model, application of the digitalization technology to a business model to solve problems, enhance efficiency, and improve access to access. So when you look at it too, the digitalization itself becomes a bigger picture as against the digitizing. So digitizing is just one form of it. Now the digitalization is the whole system itself, applying the whole digital itself to create a new business model that can even generate profits, solve problems, and make things very easier. So when you look at the two, the digitalizing aspects, we look at it, for example, it's a university. We have Department of Accounting here, Department of English, Department of Arabic, Islamic Studies, IT here and there. They are all silos on their own. Now, if we are trying to put all this one on a platform to link all this one, then you see that we are moving into digitalization, applying all the IT infrastructure, leveraging our IT infrastructure, the internet, so that those separate units can communicate with themselves. When you look at International Open University, for example, students go online to study, they go, whatever they are looking for, they are able to get it. Students can register, they can do their own enrollment, they can ask for their own transcripts without necessarily having to call somebody. What happened? What is happening at the background that the student is able to access the learning platform so easy without difficulty? So that element that makes the consumer, the end user, access the learning without much problem, then you see that we have been able to automate the system to give the value that we are looking at the end of the tail. So that two terms that you have asked, at least we try to break it up down a little bit.
You know, strangely, the campaign for digitization and also digitalization in African higher education institutions has been there. I mean, it's a decade-old campaign, but we still find the resistance of some institutions with some underpinning factors that they have brought out. They said, one, it's expensive, two, it's stressful, it's quite hard to manage. What, in your view, must we condescend to these responses against the bigger picture of the accessibility and also the ease of learning?
Yeah, so when you look at the thing, as we've just mentioned, we just talk about it and you think it's a very simple thing. No, there are really challenges trying to convert from one format to another format. The first format, to talk about the digitizing. Just imagine you have a library, a bigger library, and you are going to convert all the books into a digital form. Think about the scanners you are going to use. Think about the human resource. Think about the resources that are going to go in with the buying. Now, the departments are already on their own. Students are writing their examination here. Somebody has to key it into the system. It comes with challenges. And the first challenge I see is with the issue of human resource. You need the IT support. I think there is a study that confirms that 54% of most institutions have not been able to go full digital because of lack of human IT resource specifically. Because you need people with cybersecurity knowledge. You need people with the technical architecture. You need people with the ERP and the advanced data analytics skills. So that your digitalization transform agenda can come into being. So the human resource is very key. When you look at International Open University, for example, it's looking very smoothly. Things are running. I think so far, you can see that IOU's platform has become exemplar. People are actually looking at it because we've tried to simplify things. We are actually 100% online. So it makes our studies very simple and easy. But our success depends on the human resource, our IT, the system itself, the people behind, the people who are putting the thing together. So institution without human resource become a very big problem. The second thing is with the issue of change management. Because people are already used to a way of doing things. Somebody has to move from here, a paper has to go here to be signed. You know, people have their own authority, leadership. You know, when you look at expertise, because of the expertise somebody has, he has some power on it. And here, all of a sudden, you are bringing a system to come and take off that person. What do you think is going to happen? It is not going to be very easy. You have to run the system parallel. So there will be some challenges there. And then the human aspect, because machines alone cannot work. Machines and human beings come together so that the digitalization itself can take effect. But if the human resource itself, the change aspect is not there, how is it going to be possible? So once people are thinking about buying the equipment, you have to think about how to take care of the change management issues. So success part, you need to have a strategy for change management itself.
Okay.
Secondly, thirdly, the strategy, the agenda of strategy must fit into the corporate strategy itself.
Okay.
Where are you going? What is the vision of the school? And how can IT support you to get there? So we need to match. Where there's a mismatch between the strategy, the focus of the organization as to where we are going, and how IT can come in, there will be a clash. And then also the need and demand for students keep on changing. That is, the end users keep on changing. So you see that it's also bringing a challenge anytime you have to be on a step ahead. For example, when COVID-19 came, most schools it was not their focus to do online. In terms of strategy, they were focused on the traditional system until the COVID came and said, no, you need a paradigm shift. Now, within that short period, what time are you going to convert all the lectures that you are delivering into a digital format?
No, but it is part of the principle to stay proactive and also stay within the trend of digitization. I mean, the world trend is what we all talk about, and we are internationalizing. I mean, universities are trying to go global. Every university in Africa has an ambition to be counted or to be recognized globally. So where lies the friction that you just pointed out between the focus of the university strategically and also the digitization agenda? Where lies the friction?
No, there's no doubt that is the future. We all have to go. But what I'm trying to say is that fits. The strategy fits. Yes, you have it, but maybe our strategy is in the next 2 years, we have to fully go online. In the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, so you work on. Like I said, it's not a simple thing. Just talk about the university. If you want to go digital, all the lectures, you need to convert them into digital format. So what time are you going to record all these lectures? It takes time. You need to build in a system. You need to build in facilities to be able to record these all lectures, right? There's a whole lot of things. But if you have an agenda that maybe in the next 5 years, you go fully online. So year 1, you have what to do. Year 2, you have what to do. But COVID-19 came without preparation. So we are all caught up. Unless those who already came, like our university, for example, International Open University, we were fully online. So because we know our focus.
Were you influenced by the pandemic, or you already came with your purpose to go
fully
there. Online?
We were already online, fully online. We were prepared. We knew that the future of education is there. Because look at us, for example. How many students how can you train? Because we are trying to change nations through education, right? There are a lot of the youth in Africa who cannot able to access higher education. And the demand for higher education, it means that every year we need to set up 1 or 2 more universities to be able to catch up to the number of people who need higher education. But when you go online, you can be able to reach a lot of people. So AAU saw that. We saw the need. So we came in as a strategy to fill up, to create more access, to get more and more people to have access to quality and affordable education. So it was a part of our strategy to go fully. So we are actually 100% online. And so even before COVID came, I mean, there was no difference in our running. Of course, we will be heated because of the human aspect of it, but it wasn't a bigger shock like other schools are having shock, and others have not even been able to recover from the shock up to now.
Let me ask this question outside our main focus, just for our viewers to understand. What is your gross enrollment ratio compared to other traditional universities as a means to draw attention to how accessible or how massified impact you have made in terms of admissions and also training?
For example, we have more than 500,000 students. Okay. Now, a lecturer can take about 5,000 to 6,000 people at a time. How? The pre-recorded lectures are there. Students go online, study, take their model test. With the power of technology, after model test, you take your examination, it marks. So one lecturer, you record the materials, you set up the questions, okay? Then 5,000 or 7,000 people are hooked up. Some universities, 5,000 is a bigger number for some schools.
Yeah.
But one lecturer can carry that. You understand? Let's talk about the masses. You get it. So there's an advantage on online because it cut the cost of education. One resource can reach more people at a particular time without affecting much. Okay. Because think about, as a teacher, you are going to mark 5,000 scripts or 10,000 scripts. It's not an easy job. But with the power of technology, these 6,000 same people can write their examination within a particular period, and at the end of that particular period, everybody gets his results instantly. So yours lecturer is to come back and then cross-check and make sure that everything is in order, and then you take it though. If you were going to do this in a traditional university with 5,000 students, how many lecturers are you going to need? How many TAs are you going to need? Lots. That will add up to the cost. But when you look at online, it gives more returns with less effort.
Great. So stay with us for more of the digitization, also digitalization regarding the challenges and factors that we've experienced so far, particularly the case study with IOU and many more. Just stay with us. We'll go for a short break. We'll come back. So welcome back to AAU Talks, and we're still discussing the digitization in African higher education institutions with more emphasis on the challenges thus far and then the success factors that we've experienced. And we'll talk about a couple of them, and then you tell us how that has been implemented. So other universities who are looking forward to transform their system fully digitally would now understand how the milestone is and what to expect. First of all is the embedment and investment into digital infrastructure. That is one of the biggest hurdles thus far in terms of where to get the funds and how to set up these digital laboratories and have students access them with minimize or subsidize connectivity costs and a whole lot of things. How well would you advise with the case study of the IOU in this setting?
Okay. The further investment is very necessary. IOU has invested a lot into our infrastructure, millions of dollars actually, because look at the data we have, the information that we keep, a lot of investment has gone in actually. So you need to really, the ERPs or the learning models, there are so many of them, all right? You know, there's one thing adopting and another thing building up to suit your system, like I talk about. And you know, the architecture is developing it to suit your part of it. You need to invest into your human resource. First of all is to buy more of the equipment that you need. Then you now have to add up. For example, if everybody is using Moodle, but our form of Moodle cannot be compared with your form of Moodle because of the advancement we have done on that one. All right. So after the investment is very important. For example, we talked about reducing the cost.
Yeah.
All right. And then making it accessible, because of the challenges of internet. So IOE, for example, in terms of trying to drive the cost down, the recorded materials are sometimes made available. For example, in our office, in Ghana office here, it's made available. So a student who hook up onto the course, sign up to study the course, does not have access to internet properly. We have set up a lab. In Ghana, we have a lab where students come there and study. We have done same in Uganda, in all the across African English-speaking countries. We have, through the model that we are using, the 1 million scholarship project that we are running, we set up more learning, we are setting more learning centers. So more and more people who do not have access can still come there and learn. One of the things that we have done is try to reduce the cost of internet for students. So if you are on it and you don't have access, we have made up a lab. So you can come there and study. Maybe you have a device, but internet connectivity, you have a limited. Okay, come to the office, you get the material. The soft copy of the material is given to you. Then you go home, and with a little internet connection, you still be able to access the learning on your line, on yourself. So we have actually done the investment, and as a university, as part of the strategy, we have to make conscious effort and make budget available, because since the digitalization has become has become part and parcel of our daily life, and in fact that is where we are going, then we need to make a concerted effort, make budget towards that direction, because that's where we are heading towards. So we need to make allocation of budget to it and hire the right people, give them the focus, and then engage them to bring our vision into reality. So we need to actually make investment. It is not easy going online, fully online. It's not that easy. Your database management system is to be there. And when you are moving online fully, you are becoming more vulnerable to attacks. So you need the cybersecurity systems, your security systems. You need the people to develop the infrastructure, the ERPs, the choosing even the learning model, the platform is even a bigger decision that need to look at. So fortunately for us, we all have departments that have IT and other people. We need to engage the technocrats, like we need to engage the specialists, right? If you don't have them, you can hire somebody to come into your aid and then help you. What is your strategy? How can we do it for you? Then you move. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean you have to do it all by yourself. No, you may not have that resources. You can come to IOU. We will give you free consultation. I mean,
so I was about to talk about, we can't talk about success factors without that partnerships amongst open universities in Africa.
Very important.
Towards this cause. How well have we seen that?
Universities need to start talking to one another. We are not.
Has there been talks thus far?
Of course there are talks.
Fruitful talks.
There are fruitful. Yeah.
So
of course we are open. For IOU we are open. I mean, we are making impact. So you write to us. We will engage you. What is it that you need? We can help, because that is the only way we can transform Africa and transform the world. We need to talk to one another. We need to see one another as more partners and more resource than as competitors. We're not competitors, because at the end of the day, all of us are working towards building the human resource of this great continent. And so if we want to achieve that agenda, then we need to talk to one another. We need to consult one another. How did you do it? How can we help? And every institution I know is ready to help one another. And of course, you cannot see it happening, but behind the scenes, leadership are talking to leadership, and things are going on.
One of the big successes that we can also talk about is the issue of, is the part of technology-mediated modalities that has been integrated in the whole system, where everything that has to be done is technology. It has to be digital. It has to be on a soft level. How well have you had students' responses to accessing these tech modalities, and how conversant are they to these systems?
Okay, one of the great things we have done is we've made study skills compulsory for everybody. Okay, and then the course of IT, how to access the platform. We've also developed demos. We're also organizing regular orientation services for students. So if you are coming to study on IOE platform, we make sure you understand what it is. First of all, the system itself is human friendly. You don't really need to understand IT before you can access IOE platforms. No. Whether you are doing Islamic banking and finance, whether you are doing psychology, whether you are doing IT, you don't really need to understand much about what goes on. But our system is user friendly. That is the first thing that every system must build up into in its system to make it more user friendly. Okay. Then the second thing is to try to give support services, and this is what IOU representatives all over are doing. We are more connected with our students than any other thing. 24/7, you call, you get somebody to assist you. Because you are in your home, you are assessing something and there's a problem. How do you get resolved, particularly in a 100% online? How do you get done without support? So the support systems are become also very key. So we are doing that bit on our side, trying to give the student the support. So the system has actually come with a user-friendly that everybody can access it. We have also introduced the study skills that everybody need to take it, to understand his own learning environment, how to move around it. We have student groups. We have set up Telegram groups where we are able to monitor and get the feedback from the student. We are running surveys all the time. Every examination you need to write a survey. Just that we also understand what is the outside, what are they thinking about the system? What is the difficulties they are having? What are the challenges they are having? So the feedback from the student, we build it into the system. So more often than not, it makes learning with the IOU become more easier all the time.
But drifting back to the big thing, the bigger picture, which is digitalization.
Okay.
You are at one end of the value chain trying to provide support to help students clinch to digital platforms.
Yeah.
But what about the main source, where they come from? They come from the senior high institutions where digitization or digital learning is like a handful, just a percentage of the whole cost structure. And then we wait at one point of the value chain and then we impact that support. Hasn't there been any advocacy to ensure that right from that point where they emanate from, they are given at least a huge percentage of digital learning, so that it will be easier at the point, especially with digital with open institutions out there who are providing full-time digital learning, you will have it easier.
Okay, I think when we are looking at it, we don't need to make digitalization look like a caricature. It's at our fingertip. Today, every student has access to a smartphone. Our everyday life has become more digital.
Yeah.
We are accessing online education. After online education, we are actually in it. You see, we also need to accept something, the reality.
Yeah.
You see, everything is becoming, banking is going online, everything is going online. But when it comes to education, then people have a second thought. But every day, look at the number of videos we are watching on our WhatsApp, the videos we are watching on YouTube, the videos you are watching on Facebook, the lectures you are listening. All these things is part of the online model. You understand? So somebody at the high schools coming up has a bit of knowledge, but we have also understood that. That's why I told you earlier on that our system, we have built our system to be user friendly. Yeah. We have made it so easy. And on top of this, the system that we have built, the inbuilt International Open University has built into its system to make it more easy and accessible to access the learning platform.
Sure.
We also have effective 24-hour support services for our students, right from the help desk to the country representative. So beginning of the semester, we run orientation programs where we take the students, sit down for 1 or 3 hours, taking through how to log in, how to access his modules, how to do the course enrollment, how to resolve problem when you have, particularly if you are writing a paper and the lights go off or you have a problem, you have to go and do your own quiz research.
Yeah.
We take the person through that. We take the person how to do the payment, we take you through a course. And on top of this, we have done other online videos that we have made available to all our students. And every semester we do them and we send it back. You see, that's the power of technology. We do it and keep it. So students can visit every time and there. So with a little push, looking at the investment that we have done into our system, with a little push you give it to the person, he gets through. So in IOU, it doesn't take you much headache to join IOU. We have actually built a system for Africa and for the world. So it makes it easy, anybody who come. And to be honest with you, IOU is ready to take up to 2 million or 3 million people studying at a time without hitches. And I'm saying this because I know what IOU has, International Open University, has built into the system. And anybody who wants to see it should log on to IOU. I mean, the registration is very simple and easy. You just go on our website, www.iou.edu.gm. You fill the form. Somebody gets you. You see, the moment you fill the form, automatically we are informed. The country representative is informed that Mike has applied. So I call you, Mike, how can I assist you through the process? Mike, do this to upload your document. Mike, do that, so that we check all the credentials, because you are going to upload your certificate from Ghana. We also have to check the documentation and see. Of course, our system has built that, and you get enrolled. You go make the payment, upload your system. So you see the process that we go through with you from day one, you get to understand it. You upload your payment. Now the payment is being uploaded. They have done the checks, and you have been granted the admission. Now they ask you to go online and enroll. So you go and enroll, then you come, we take you through the process, then you take it there, you write your assignment, you have to go and upload your assignment. You see, so we have made it so easy. And then we have created help desk on WhatsApp groups, on Telegram, so that we can understand the feedback, the support. So you have a problem, just drop it there, we take it up from there. So this is what we have built. And I'm telling you on authority that our system can take 2 million people at a time without problems. Everybody can study at the same time. And I think we are poised, actually, to make sure that higher education become more easy and accessible to everybody.
It's a remarkable opportunity right here that we cite ourselves in with digitization because of the accessibility you create for so many students. But one more concern about academic integrity right through digitization and also digitalization in higher education. From your point of view, how then do you control quality and academic integrity?
Yes, there are two ways. Back again, the system has built in that. For example, when you write your assignment, it's uploaded through a site where it checks the plagiarism where you copied your material from, and it will catch you, no matter what it is. Because there's an acceptable level. After that level, your assignment will be cancelled, right? Now, when you come to the examination, before you come to take your examination at our examination center, we have to see your ID. Are you the right person coming to write the exam? Yes, before you sit down at the exams hall. Of course, you are sitting there. When you are ready to take your test, the proctor has to come and code in the password before the examination opens. So whilst you are taking your exam, there's a proctor with you in the room. How are you going to cheat? More to the point, the system has given you a timeline. You have to finish this examination open at this time and close at this time, and you are writing. So what time are you going to flip another page and come back? Besides, we are there. We have built in all those systems to ensure that you can't cheat the system. No. Beside the ones that we have put in, we have also made sure that every student take his final exam at a particular registered learning center across the globe. We have registered centers. That is where you take your final examination. And that bit that we are afraid of is being taken care of. Because the moment you come, we have to see your ID. Are you the person that said he's coming to write there? Is it like the normal university? The invigilator will check your ID before you sit down. Then they come around and check your name and see for you to sign. Same is happening. So you come online, you come to the learning center, you key in your details, you sit down, you log in. First of all, you log in yourself. We check your ID, you are the right person. Then we come and give you the access to the password, the password to the examination. And then we are sitting in the hall with you. If it is 2 hours that you are writing the examination, 3 hours, there's an officer with you. So how are you going to cheat?
That's amazing. But on a wrap-up note, what would you want to say? We're looking at the next decade of an entirely 100% road digitization or digitalization agenda in Africa. What is the role of existing open universities and also upcoming open universities, and the role of existing traditional, now about to enter or digitize universities? What role should we play in ensuring that it is a win-win for the students, win-win for the institution, and also for the African continent?
Yes. First of all, we have to decide that it's time. We have to accept that it's time we go online. Because when we go online, we serve two purposes. We can do more than what we are doing currently. We need to now make concerted efforts, because in the next 5 years, that's where we are going. We have to do the investments in terms of the infrastructure, and then the human resource. So if you are a school that want to move and you don't have the requisite staff to support you, you need to start investing into your staff, training them to go and build up in those areas that you are very weak, train them or recruit more people. Of course, recruiting comes with its own cost. Same. If you're going to train, they say, of course, of course, it's part of it. So we need to really understand that it's time for us to go online. And then how you have to define when, by what time do you want to go? Maybe in the next 5 years. So year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, what do you want to do to get there? Which year are you going to get all your equipment set up? Which year are you going to finish converting digitizing all your materials onto the digital platform? I mean, all the stages we need to talk. We need to, and then we also need to engage those who are already in, who have gone far. IOU, our doors are open. Contact us. How have you made it? How did you make it? We sit down, we talk, we advise, and we see how we can also bring you on board. So we have to know that it is time for us to go, and then we have to prepare. Let's just say, International Open University, I mean, our enrollments are between March and September.
Okay.
Actually, they are writing their exam now.
Okay.
And the March enrollment has started. So we employed everybody. I mean, workers, graduates who are finished, you can take up all our courses. You sign up today, www.iou.edu.gm, or you visit any of our country offices in your country, or in Ghana, you can come to our office in Medina. We sit down with you, take you through, and sign up. Our university is very, very affordable. Very, very, I mean, the cheapest are things, but we are giving the best. So any course you are looking for, you're looking for IT, we have 4-year degree in IT, psychology, business administration, information technology, and so many other courses. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much for your time, Mr. Yusif Samudeen, Ghana's Ghana's rep for the International Open University, who was with us in the studio discussing digitization, digitalization in African higher education institutions, the challenges, also the success factors that we have to uphold, and also. As the point has been made clear that as we clinch digitization, it is a means to ameliorate all the challenges that we faced in higher education many years ago while pre-digitization. But now with digitization, things are easier, we can admit more, we can upgrade further, and also solve more problems. And that is the essence of digitization. So it is right that every university in Africa finds a way just to adapt to digital means. I mean, let your students start using digital means to learn, and let's see how we grow our continent the way we want. So thanks for your time with us on AAU Talks. My name is Agyemang Okyere Darko, and I hope to catch you next time on AAU Talks for more very impactful topics regarding education in the African continent. Thank you very much for your time. Have a nice day and bye.